The message arrived without warning. In the center of the Galactic Council chamber, a floating screen appeared, glowing with red symbols. At first no one spoke. The room was full of the most powerful beings in known space, but even they felt uneasy. The message was simple. An allied alien fleet had decided to attack Earth. For a few seconds the council members thought it was a joke. Then the silence broke. "That cannot be right," one member said. "Earth is not a threat." Another replied, "They have no major fleets, no empire, no galactic weapons." A third leaned forward and said quietly, "But they survive everything." That was the problem. Earth was known as a quiet planet. Humans did not expand across the stars. They did not rule systems. They rarely interfered in galactic politics. But whenever disaster happened near Earth, the humans survived. Plagues, wars, climate collapse, resource loss, humans adapted every time. The council called this strange survival records. No one fully understood how humans kept recovering. At the far end of the chamber sat James Carter. He was the only human diplomat present. He wore a simple dark suit, no armor, no technology visible. While the other council members argued loudly, James just listened. He did not interrupt. He did not panic. He did not look surprised. One council member finally noticed him. "Human representative," it said, "your species is about to be attacked. Why are you so calm?" James looked up slowly. "Because this won't go the way they think." The chamber went silent again. A tall crystalline being spoke. "You are confident for a species with no galactic army." James gave a small smile. "We have something better than an army." "What?" another asked. James answered simply. "Experience." The council exchanged confused signals. James stood up. "Humans have been facing extinction since the day we learned to walk. Every century something tries to end us. War, disease, hunger, fear, technology, even ourselves." He paused. "And every time we adjust." The council leader spoke carefully. "But this is different. This is a coordinated alien assault." James nodded. "So was the last 100 disasters we survived. Only the names changed." One member whispered, "They are underestimating us again." James did not deny it. The council tried one last time to stop the attack. They sent warnings to the Allied fleet. They shared Earth's history, its records, its strange pattern of never staying defeated for long. The response came quickly. "Humans are weak. They have no interstellar defenses. We will finish them in days." James read the message inside. "They always say that." The council asked him, "Should Earth prepare for evacuation?" James shook his head. "No. We'll prepare for adaptation." The council did not understand what that meant. But James did. Because humans never met danger by running from it. They met it by learning from it. And far away as the alien fleet began moving toward Earth, James sent one short message back home. "They're coming. Don't panic. Just be human." And across Earth millions of people went on with their day. Not because they were brave. Not because they were strong. But because deep down humans had learned something long ago. Fear wastes time. Learning saves lives. The news reached Earth in less than an hour. Every screen, every device, every public signal repeated the same message. An alien fleet is approaching Earth. For the first 10 minutes there was silence. Then something strange happened. People did not scream. There were no riots. No cities burned. Instead people asked questions. What do they want? How long do we have? Is there any data on them? Emily Ross watched the news from a small research center near the ocean. She was a science officer used to tracking storms and space objects. When the alert came she expected panic. But the streets outside looked normal. Cars still moved. Shops stayed open. Children walked to school. Emily turned to her colleague. "Are people not scared?" He shrugged. "They probably are. They just don't know what to do with fear anymore." Satellite images showed the same thing across the world. No mass evacuation. No collapse of systems. Trains ran on time. Hospitals worked as usual. Even sports matches continued, with updated security but no cancellations. The alien scouts watching Earth were deeply confused. From their ships hidden near the moon, they sent reports back to their command. Planet shows no distress behavior. No military mobilization detected. Population acting normal. Their leader replied with anger. They must be hiding panic. But there was no hiding. Humans were not panicking because they were not waiting to be saved. They were already adjusting. Inside universities, engineers opened old files. Climate models became defense simulations. Medical teams reviewed disaster protocols. Not for aliens specifically, but for anything unknown. That was the human method. Emily joined an online network called Open Response Grid. Thousands of scientists, programmers, doctors, and students were connected. No one was in charge. Everyone shared ideas. One person suggested using weather satellites to track alien energy signals. Another proposed testing communication frequencies. A teacher shared a simple plan for keeping children calm during emergencies. No shouting. No fear messages. Only data. Emily noticed something else. No one said, "We will win." They said, "Let's see what works." The alien scouts grew more uneasy. They watched humans build strange systems that did not look like weapons. Communication towers, shared networks, adaptive power grids, backup systems for food and water. "This is not defense," one scout said. Another replied, "Then what is it?" The answer was simple. Preparation without panic. Emily stood on the roof of her building that night watching the stars. Somewhere up there, an alien fleet was moving closer. She felt fear, of course. But fear did not control her hands. She opened her tablet and sent another data packet to the network. Solar interference patterns could hide enemy scans. Within seconds, someone replied. "Testing now." This was happening everywhere. Quietly. Silently. Together. The aliens had expected screaming. They had expected prayers. They had expected chaos. What they found was routine. And that scared them more than any weapon ever could. The alien fleet arrived without warning. One moment, Earth's skies were empty. The next, thousands of dark shapes appeared near orbit, blocking stars like moving shadows. Every major telescope picked them up. Every satellite recorded their size. They were massive. The fleet sent its first message to Earth. "Your planet is surrounded. You will submit or be erased." The message played on every screen on Earth. People stopped walking. Cars slowed. For a few seconds the world held its breath. Then something very human happened. Someone made a meme of the message and posted it online. Within minutes, millions were sharing it. Not because they thought it was funny, but because humor was how humans dealt with fear. Far away, inside the Galactic Council chamber, panic finally arrived. Council members watched the live feed from Earth and could not believe what they saw. "The fleet has arrived," one shouted. "They are making threats," another cried. "This is an extinction-level event." The Council immediately sent urgent signals to the alien commanders. "You must stop this. Earth is not your enemy. You do not understand humans." The alien fleet ignored them. On Earth, David Miller sat in a quiet control room filled with screens. He was a defense analyst trained to watch patterns, not explosions. He expected to see missile launches, massive weapons, nuclear systems powering up. But that did not happen. Instead, he saw something else. Communication lines expanding. Global networks merging. Thousands of problem-solving teams forming in real time. David frowned. "They're not building weapons." His assistant looked confused. "Then what are they doing?" David watched as new systems appeared. Adaptive shields around power plants. Backup data centers spreading across continents. Emergency food and water systems activated quietly. "They're making the world harder to break," David said. The alien scouts watching Earth sent new reports. No major weapon construction detected. No attack behavior observed. Planet showing passive response. The alien commanders laughed. "They are afraid. They are weak. They are waiting to die." They sent another message to Earth. "You have no defenses. Your silence proves it." David heard the message and shook his head. They still don't get it. Humans were not silent. They were talking more than ever. But not to the enemy. They were talking to each other. Scientists shared real-time models. Engineers redesigned systems daily. Doctors trained for unknown biology. Teachers prepared children for uncertainty. The aliens saw no guns. So they assumed no danger. But what they missed was the most dangerous human trait of all. Humans learn faster under pressure. David leaned back in his chair and whispered, "They think strength is loud." On the main screen, Earth glowed softly with millions of invisible connections. They don't know quiet can be lethal. The first alien strike came at dawn. No warning. No countdown. Just a sudden wave of energy that hit Earth's outer systems. Satellites failed. Power grids flickered. Communication signals distorted. For a brief moment, the aliens believed they had won. Then something unexpected happened. Nothing collapsed. Backup systems activated within seconds. New communication paths opened automatically. Energy shields adjusted their patterns. The alien commanders stared at their screens. That attack should have crippled them, one said. But Earth was still talking, still sharing data, still responding. On the surface, people felt only small disruptions. Lights dimmed. Internet slowed. But hospitals stayed online. Transport continued. Emergency systems adapted without human orders. Inside a global strategy center, Laura Bennett watched the data streams. She smiled slightly. It worked, someone said. Laura shook her head. No, it failed. And that's why it worked. The team looked at her. Laura explained simply, we didn't design one defense. We designed thousands. And we let them compete. The alien fleet launched a second strike, changing frequency and power. Human networks changed with it. Third strike. Human systems changed again. Each attack taught the system something new. Algorithms learned patterns. Energy shields reshaped. Weak points disappeared almost as soon as they were discovered. The alien scouts panicked. They're improving between attacks. Our data is becoming useless. This should not be possible. Laura watched the enemy behavior and said quietly, they think defense means blocking. We think defense means learning. The alien commanders tried a massive strike, combining all their weapons into one overwhelming blast. Human systems broke for exactly 3 seconds. Then they rebuilt themselves differently. Not stronger, smarter. Across Earth, people barely noticed. They saw strange lights in the sky, some power outages, a few alarms. But life continued. Coffee machines worked. Trains moved. Children went to school. The aliens began to understand too late. Earth was not winning because it had better weapons. Earth was winning because it refused to stay the same. Laura sent one final report to the global network. Stop trying to hold the line. Keep changing the line. The aliens finally realized the truth. You cannot defeat an enemy that becomes a new enemy every second. The alien fleet began to retreat in silence. There was no final battle. No dramatic explosion. No heroic victory speech. One by one, the massive ships turned away from Earth and vanished into deep space. The humans did not chase them. They simply watched. Inside the Galactic Council chamber, the mood was strange. Not celebration. Not relief. Something closer to disbelief. The council members reviewed the final reports. Alien casualties, minimal. Human casualties, minimal. Strategic outcome, total failure of invasion. The attackers had not lost a war. They had lost understanding. One council member said, they came to conquer Earth. Another replied, they came to test humans. A third spoke softly, and humans tested them back. James Carter stood again in his place. He looked tired but calm. The council leader said, we must update the records. A new classification appeared on the main screen. Earth, high-risk civilization. James read it and nodded. Not proud. Not angry. Just aware. The council asked him, why did your people not destroy the attackers when you had the chance? James answered, because destruction teaches nothing. The chamber fell silent. James continued, humans do not survive by crushing every threat. We survive by understanding it. The council leader asked, then what makes humans dangerous? James thought for a moment. Not our weapons. Not our numbers. Not our strength. He looked at the empty star field where the alien fleet once was. We are dangerous because we change faster than fear. The council recorded his words. Across Earth, life returned to full normality within hours. News channels moved on. People went back to work. Children forgot the event within days. Only scientists and historians kept studying the data. They did not call it a war. They called it a lesson. And somewhere far across the galaxy, alien civilizations updated their own rules. If humans are calm, retreat. If humans are curious, retreat faster. If humans are learning, you are already too late.